Far from the buzz of cities, beyond even the reach of most commercial jets, there are places where the night sky becomes a private performance. In these rare pockets of the Earth, stars spill across the darkness in brilliant constellations, and the Milky Way pulses like a living river of light. These are not just stargazing spots. They are destinations of the world elite. Places where the ultra-wealthy go not just to escape the world, but to peer into the universe. In the age of infinite entertainment and diminishing privacy, stargazing has emerged as the final frontier of true wonder. For billionaires, royals, and secluded artists, these dark sky sanctuaries offer something no luxury yacht, private jet, or penthouse suite can replicate: stillness, silence, and a cosmic perspective. From high-altitude deserts to private domes on remote islands, let us journey to the world's 5 most exclusive stargazing destinations, where astronomy meets opulence, and the heavens unfold for a chosen few. There's a place in northern Chile known only by coordinates to the general public, but frequented by CEOs and Saudi royalty. Atop the Atacama Desert's driest peaks, hidden from the wind and shielded from even satellite interference, lies a compound of obsidian-colored domes. These aren't mere tents. They are climate-controlled observatories wrapped in matte black to absorb as little reflective light as possible. Inside, guests lounge in leather recliners beneath retractable ceilings. They sip vintage Bordeaux, while professional astronomers guide them across the stars. This is the Alma Shadow Resort, where bookings are limited to 12 nights a year, and only those personally referred by past guests are invited. The resort boasts one of the largest privately owned telescopes in the Southern Hemisphere, and is staffed by former NASA engineers and international astronomers who curate celestial programming based on the season's most dramatic events. Meteors, lunar eclipses, and supernovae are forecasted like cultural events, complete with starlight-paired tasting menus and nighttime drone shows that echo constellations. Every guest receives a custom astronomical diary, bound in leather with personal notations from their stargazing sessions. Meanwhile, in the high plains of Namibia, an old game reserve has been quietly converted into a luxury stargazing estate. Called Zubri Skyland, it features safari-style lodges spaced kilometers apart for maximum isolation. Each villa has a rooftop observation deck with 360-degree swivel telescopes, a sky chart interface synced to NASA satellites, and private astronomy guides flown in seasonally from South Africa and Europe. Here, guests dine outdoors under the Southern Cross, their meals prepared with ingredients grown under red filtered lights to preserve night vision. Wildlife roams nearby, and the only illumination is from bioluminescent footpaths that disappear with the sunrise. At Zubri, a typical evening might begin with a twilight horseback ride across the savannah, followed by a skylantern ceremony that releases illuminated wishes into the night air. During the stargazing session, guests are encouraged to engage with the cosmos through storytelling circles where ancient Namibian myths are shared, merging indigenous lore with cutting-edge science. Morning yoga takes place under the slowly fading stars, and each suite is named after a celestial body visible from the southern hemisphere. For those who prefer cold silence over warm desert air, there is White Silence, a secret Scandinavian retreat located above the Arctic Circle. Built into a natural granite bluff overlooking a frozen fjord, this destination is favored by oligarchs and retired monarchs. Its main feature, the Polar Halo Suite, a glass igloo with heated floors and smart tinting panels that adjust based on aurora activity. Northern lights, meteor showers, and the faint blue haze of deep space play across the ceiling, while guests soak in heated carbon stone tubs, infused with Icelandic minerals. The staff is trained in both astrophysics and spa therapy, blending celestial education with rejuvenation. To get there requires a chartered ice cap landing and a snowmobile escort through a terrain mapped more by stars and roads. Guests have been known to arrive via silent drones, and a select few choose to pair the experience with sound baths played through subglacial speakers that resonate with the hum of the earth itself. Guests are also given handmade sky journals bound in local reindeer hide, in which they sketch or write their experiences. White Silence is more than a viewing location. It is a meditative space where astronomy becomes a spiritual experience, and silence becomes the most luxurious sound. Perhaps the most indulgent of all is a mobile destination. Somewhere between the Maldives and Seychelles floats the Eclipse Voyager, a super yacht turned astronomical observatory. Commissioned by a reclusive tech magnate, this vessel only takes private bookings from invitation-only members of the Celestial Society, a discreet collective of astronomy patrons. On board, the yacht has a dome-shaped observatory with retractable ceiling panels, a custom-built planetarium with real-time tracking software, and a zero-gravity sleep chamber designed to simulate orbital viewing. At night, the yacht anchors far from all known maritime traffic and douses its own lights, creating a floating black mirror for the cosmos. Staffed with former astronauts, AI-powered sky guides, and Michelin-starred chefs, every detail aboard the Eclipse Voyager is tailored to elevate celestial immersion. Guests are encouraged to record their dreams, which are later rendered into custom starlit VR experiences that blend personal memory with cosmic symbolism. The voyage becomes a canvas for imagination and reflection. Each cabin includes an onboard astrolabe and a curated collection of celestial poetry from every major culture, celebrating humanity's shared all across centuries. And in the Utah desert, there exists a property known as Whisper Basin. Built inside a protected canyon on Navajo land, it is both a dark sky preserve and a luxury compound owned by a consortium of Hollywood producers. The architecture mimics ancient stone settlements, yet the technology is cutting edge. Guests navigate the canyon on silent electric crawlers to reach sky pods, elevated glass cylinders with zero light interference. There are no phones, no Wi-Fi, and no ambient noise. Everything is designed for communion with the sky. Meals are served on stone altars, constellations are mapped into the dishware, and each guest is assigned a personal mythologist who narrates the star lore as you drift asleep. Whisper Basin is the only place in the world where your astrological birth chart is carved into the rock face of your private pod, and your star readings are accompanied by live orchestras tuned to lunar frequencies. The setting transforms stargazing into myth-making and memory into celestial ritual. Here, each night ends with the lighting of a ceremonial fire encoded with herbal smoke meant to invite ancestral sky spirits, a nod to Navajo cosmology woven respectfully into the experience. These destinations aren't about comfort alone. They are about reverence, about creating a sacred distance between humanity and the heavens, not through religion or science alone, but through stillness, story, and silence. They cater to a class of individuals who have already conquered Earth and now seek communion with something older, colder, and far more vast. In a world saturated with luxury, noise, and access, the stars remain unimpressed. They shine the same whether watched from a hammock or a Himalayan observatory. But for the ultra-wealthy, it's not about access. It's about experience. Controlled, curated, and completely beyond the reach of crowds. It is about reclaiming something primal, to look up and remember how small we are. As technology accelerates and attention becomes the rarest currency, stargazing is a slow luxury. It is the last quiet thing. It is a forgotten mirror we once used to ask who we were and where we came from. And in the world's most hidden corners, that quiet still belongs to those who can pay for it. But perhaps in moments like these, beneath the silence of distant galaxies, what they buy is not just a view, but a fleeting return to humility. Subscribe for more immersive journeys into the rarest corners of travel, luxury, and wonder.